Welcome into the USL Pro Weekend Preview. My name's Nicholas Murray. Very pleased to be joined today by USL President Tim Holt. And Tim, had a little bit of midweek action. Orlando City and Charleston Battery both in action in the US Open Cup. Orlando moves on. Charleston falls valiantly to Real Salt Lake in extra time. That was a really nice precursor for some of the games we've got coming up this weekend.
Huge weekend this weekend in USL Pro. 10 games. You got everything from rivalry games to interleague games. Again, I'd like to congratulate Orlando City with a huge, enormous win to get them through the quarterfinals, knocking out the cup holders, Sporting KC, who also they happen to be affiliates with. So that was a big win. I think you're looking at a team in Orlando City that has the capability of getting deep into that tournament. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Charleston on a great run, taking Real Salt Lake to the brink. We're excited about this weekend's USL Pro action.
Now, the last team to win the US Open Cup from outside MLS was the Rochester Rhinos, and they have a big game tonight against VSI Tampa Bay. Mauricio Salas is coming back. He's a former Rhinos player, also plays for the Lancers in the MISL, and he's coming off a 5-goal game. Big test for the Rhinos' defense, and they really need a win to try and get back into the playoff race.
Well, certainly Salas is red hot. I guess if Dom Dwyer's white hot, you would characterize Salas as being red hot, but he's not a one-man show, certainly with VSI, which attacks in waves, has some very dangerous players, and has been playing as good a soccer as anyone in this league right now. So they go up and play a Rochester team, and you can't help but think with the quality that Rochester has is there's going to be a run that they're going to put together a playoff push, and who knows, maybe that starts this weekend.
Now, Saturday night, you mentioned the interleague play, and we have a really interesting interleague game out west with Real Salt Lake's reserves going to play Phoenix FC. Now, these teams finished scoreless when they played at Rio Tinto Stadium earlier this season, and it really feels like Phoenix needs a win here to, again, jumpstart their season a little bit, similar to the Rhinos.
Not only was it a big game and an even game and a scoreless game, it was a very spirited game.
Yes.
If you'll remember, there were a couple of situations. We don't want to call it bad blood, but certainly not a friendly. That's game. Both teams have got a lot riding on that in the standings. Certainly Phoenix, if they're going to push for the postseason. That game in Real Salt Lake was special. Huge crowd there. We're hoping for another big crowd in Phoenix this weekend for arguably the biggest game they've played in their young history.
Now, Sunday afternoon, Antigua Barracuda travels to visit the Harrisburg City Islanders for the second time this season, but this time they have a new man at the helm in Adrian Whitbread. Appointed this week, gets his feet wet tonight as they play the Richmond Kickers. And what's Adrian going to bring to this team as they look to turn things around?
Well, look, Adrian's a super coach. He played a big role in the success of the Puerto Rico Islanders when they were part of USL 1 and made their CONCACAF run. He knows the league. He knows the players. Obviously, he's getting familiar. You bring in a coach like that, and he's an energy guy. I expect to see a motivated Antigua team that's coming off their best performance of the season at Orlando, where they took them literally to the final minutes of the game. So should be an exciting game up there. Richmond's going to see a much different Antigua team, we think, than they saw the first time.
You can watch all of those games in USL Pro this weekend on uslnation.com. You can also get live updates on Twitter at USL Pro and check for previews and game recaps on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Until Tuesday, when we'll recap all of the weekend's actions. For Tim, my name's Nicholas. Thanks for joining us.